Hey guys, it's Starting to Geek, and I finally have figured out how to do blind reactions. Sorry, I'm really excited about that. This is something I've wanted to do, so my YouTube is going to be mainly blind reactions, because I think that the blind reactions help build a good community between geeks, because it's kind of, when you're kind of a geek, you're kind of separated, and so it's a good way to actually get people's opinions on shows that you like, and theories, and different things. So if you watch this entire video, I'll do a big spiel at the end talking about the episode. And my blog, actually, which I'm going to post the link to below in the video, is more about like just reviews and about geek stuff. So it's kind of what I'm beginning to do. So this is going to be a blind reaction to Arrow, the new season of Arrow, which is really good. It's been a lot better than last season. I did not like last season. I actually stopped watching it at the end of last season. But yeah, so what happened last week? Not too much. I think the biggest part of last week was Diggle was in jail, and we got to see Deathstroke again, which was really cool. So if you guys don't know anything, if you guys are new to Arrow, or you've been around and you don't know why Deathstroke has not been in the show, Deathstroke was taken out of the show because of Suicide Squad. DC decided to pull him because of Suicide Squad, which is really depressing because it was going to be really good. So he's in jail, and he's asked Lila's come and has asked Team Arrow to help bust Diggle out of jail. So this is going to be an episode called... Never mind. Yeah. So, this should be the jailbreak, basically, of getting people out of jail. So I'm kind of excited to get this in. So, yeah, so stick around afterwards. Do anything about that. If this is going to be a cut version of the episode, it's going to be about 10 minutes, because I don't want to get blocked on YouTube. If you want to see the entire video, I'll keep a copy of it. But I need to figure out exactly how to post that on Google Drive. So if you have any suggestions for me, post in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to start doing these a little bit more often than I have. It's taken me about 2 weeks to figure out how to actually edit videos. So I'm going to hit start. First start is going to be for my recording. And then now I'm going to click.
5 years in hell, I returned home with only one goal, to save my city. Today I fight that war on two fronts. By day, I lead Star City as its mayor, but by night, I am someone else. I am something else. I am the Green Arrow. Previously on Arrow.
Former police captain Quentin Lance, who will be serving beside me as deputy mayor.
Appreciate the vote of confidence, Mr. Mayor.
You not from Star City?
No. Haven Rock.
There's something that I need you to know. Haven Rock was not the intended target.
I'm glad to see that she actually told him.
Reduce the number of casualties.
And I can understand him being upset, but also at the same time, you can't blame her, because it does make sense. But I'm also very logical.
Stop fighting for me.
And I'm not thinking like he is thinking. I'm thinking
in the country and he's in prison, and I need you to break him out.
But yeah, just kind of ignore that statement.
Do we know what he stole?
Not yet, but I have a feeling we're about to find out.
Only if we snag him in the cordon. Artemis, be ready.
Does this mean I actually get to shoot someone? I mean,
she is for sure going to be Artemis.
Someone. I just meant more than.
I know what you meant. You wait
I don't
for him
think
to
I
reach
realized
the
that
cordon,
last week.
Then engage. Do you copy?
Copy.
Copy.
Copy. Still a lot of ground to cover.
So basically, we now have the entire Young Justice team. So we
Overwatched you between
got
that
Megan. There's new Supergirl. Sorry, spoiler, but we got Megan, Wally, Artemis. You just need a Roy. Well, Roy, we had Roy. Roy needs to come back. And we don't have Superboy. And we don't have a Robin. We're missing two, basically.
Well done.
That's really cool. Maybe Young Justice. I heard Siri recently that one thing that show that you're going to do is spin-off, do a Friday show that we every day.
I got him.
But I don't know, it's kind of cool. CW just becomes superhero.
For a drink, don't you think? It's not for drinking.
Is he gonna try to burn him?
Tully, what the hell was that for?
Oh! To make him fake drunk. That's smart.
When I get caught, I'm not gonna get caught.
Right, because we're not gonna let you do this.
I'm sorry. Did you say you're not gonna let me?
That's a wrong choice of words there,
I need
guys.
to see you physically deposit the
He can do this.
I've been on this job 15 years. I've never let
That? Whoa! That was shocking. What happened? So the entire thing was a trick.
Sorry, gents. Load him up. Burn this puppy down.
I really like seeing it.
I don't think Oliver would run us out there without him.
Right, well, Oliver forfeited his opinion when he left.
Okay.
How
but this
Feely
is an
do?
all hands on deck situation. Rat covered hands included. Just saying.
That's the time you call in Thea. I feel like. Thea, Speedy, need you back. I want to see the reactions because like she's kind of like petite. Like you wouldn't think of her being
This is
Speedy.
usually his delivery.
Fleet's been tearing through the base, sir.
He's wearing like a hockey mask. It's so weird not seeing him in his green arrow uniform. But he's like in like a spy uniform. He's a.
Roger that.
Facilities cameras are on him.
Wouldn't they have cameras everywhere?
Что происходит? Что случилось?
Did he just kill the guy? Oh my goodness. That's dark.
You talk about the trust.
He has a Harvey Dent feel to him. That like good guy, bad guy. I don't trust him. There's something up with him. Which is sad that on a show you can't trust somebody that's presumably good.
Go. Do not die.
Good advice, Felicity. Don't die. Perfect circle.
We're going up. Then what?
Sorry, I'm like loving this music right now. It's making me dance. I'm really liking all of these. I'm looking the quiet of this episode because I'm like actually like watching. But this is one of the few shows that's like intensely watched. Like these long core. Curtis! I love these two battles going on at one time. Like it's a really cool. It's a little confusing. It's a little jumpy, but they're doing just enough in each one that you understand what's going on.
Your harness.
Oh, don't move.
That is cool.
Can't believe you broke me out of prison.
For better or worse, Johnny.
That's really sweet.
And I figured if you wanted to make your own decision.
Changed?
Yeah.
Don't.
Oh, it's even better than you have. Sorry, I'm a girl, so I'm gonna forget it. I love Diggle and Oliver because they are brothers. Like him calling him a brother is apt. Like they are brothers. It makes all the sense. They've been through a lot together. In a lot of dynamics. I'm glad to see Diggle's kind of forgiven him over the whole Raza Ghul thing. Because that was a couple of years ago, and he kind of understands, but he can still be mad.
We're hearing that one of the vigilantes who was part of the rescue.
Health problems. Oh, I thought he said, "Let me know when the Queen gets here."
Are you alright?
I was like, Oliver's not a queen.
Yeah,
He is a
the
queen.
kid there. Ow. Ow. Ow.
Curtis.
So, Al then? Things have really fallen apart without Oliver, haven't they?
It's a good thing I'm back then.
Was he waiting for an entrance line?
He always waits for an entrance line. Sorry, my laugh is very loud if you haven't learned that yet.
Yeah, John?
Wakey, wakey!
No! I'm sorry, electrocution gets me, like, a little eh.
Oh, man. It's been a long time since I've been tagged like this. Respect.
Oh, my pleasure. But I promise you, if you untie me, I'll show you a hell of a lot more than respect.
Oh, man, you got spirit. And I am duly impressed. But I'm gonna break that spirit. I'm gonna break your soul. And when we're finished, assuming that you're still alive. Now, I wouldn't bet no money on that, though. There's gonna be very little of you left for the Green Arrow to work with.
Yeah, but the Green Arrow has his buddy guy. His brother guy. So let me end my little video thing. Okay. So, yeah, that was season 4. So if I didn't talk a whole lot, because I'm actually, like, I really enjoy these episodes. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed that episode. I think we've kind of reached the point, like, we've reached, like, in season arcs, you have, like, the initial first couple episodes that you get that drive. And then it has to, like, plot has to, wrong hand, because it's going to be different, but you have the initial point, and then, like, you have a beginning of a little bit of a lull, like, where, like, they're developing people and developing plots and all those things goes on, so, like, a arch. And then you're going to get the updrive. And I feel like both this and the Flash, I think I talked about the Flash last night, are, like, in that little bit of a lull, but you can kind of see that light of that updrift again, coming up, obviously, with the crossover event, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But, yeah, no, so I thought it was really good. So I took down notes on my phone, so that's why I was glancing at my phone if you see me in the video. So, first one's the Young Justice. I think I'm going to leave in, I didn't talk a whole lot, my little rant about the Young Justice in the video. But, yeah, no, there is a possible chance now that there's going to be a Young Justice team. So, we have pretty much the entire Young Justice team. The only people we're missing is, like I said earlier, we're missing Superboy and Robin. And so, be interesting if they actually make a Young Justice. That'd be kind of fun if you see a live-action Young Justice, because that's a show I think a lot of people saw was canceled. I have my own rant about Young Justice, but that's a video for another day. But yeah, that'd be cool. I'm not entirely sure if we saw yesterday, if we saw that last night, that he actually, sorry, I thought that was my roommate for a second. But I'm not sure if we saw yesterday entirely that Arrow was actually there. My roommate probably went out to practice. But But yeah, no, I don't know what I was talking about. I don't know. But anyway, Young Justice, be interesting if they're actually going to do anything with that. Okay, I'm glad to see that they adjust between Ragman and Felicity, the whole Rory, his whole dealing with the bomb and all of that issues. And I feel like it is mostly resolved. I don't think it's going to be completely resolved because that's going to linger. But I like that idea of moving forward, because I understand why he would be frustrated. But you also have to think about it logically, and I think Rory is proving that he is kind of a logical person. That, yeah, it's upsetting. And, yeah, a bad word at the world too, if something like that happened to my home. But it's all about that forgiveness, because it wasn't like Felicity was like, oh, I'm going to target this city. Felicity was faced with an impossible decision, and she made a decision, and I feel like he can understand that she's going to be haunted with it just as much as he's going to be haunted with his issues with it. And that really, out of anybody else who's left in the world, they're going to understand each other. So it's kind of nice to see that resolve. I don't think it's going to be fully. I think it's going to come back. But I like to see them address it, as one of my favorite YouTubers talked about. One of the other things I wrote down is the new DA. I think I talked about him reminding me of Harvey Dent. He really does. He has this like bad side to him, and I'm not sure where they're gonna take him with that. He's getting frustrated. So yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do. It's kind of concerning me. Like, are they gonna make him bad? Is he gonna still be a good guy? Like, what's gonna happen with him? But there's definitely they're doing something with him. He's in it enough. He's being fleshed out as a character enough that they're taking him in a direction. I just don't know what direction. If he's gonna become kind of a bad guy to like try to fix the town, or what exactly they're gonna do with that. I felt like Felicity was a little off this episode, but I could understand her issues with it. This might be my roommate. Yeah, it's my roommate. Hi. Hi. But yeah, no. What? I'm YouTube video because of my blog, so sorry. I'll talk to you in a minute. Quite literally, I'm almost done. I'm loving. The other thing I was going to talk about was I'm loving Tobias as a villain. I think my roommate actually did come in, but to me he's much more like an Arrow villain. The issue I had with Damien Dark last season was he was almost too magical, too mystified. He was almost like a Flash villain. The reason why I like Arrow is it's like real people fighting real people. And like Ragman has powers, but his is not like beams or something. Like it's kind of not powers. So it's nice to see that balance back. And he's basically a thug, which I like that. It's kind of like how like Daredevil, like all of them, they have that like they're fighting the thugs, the mob bosses, the down dirty, businessmen, which is again back to Oliver's like original mission, which is cleaning it up, which is wonderful to see that again. That's what happened last episode. He fought Stardust. I didn't get to talk about that. So yeah, if you watched last episode and he didn't seem to understand the whole Stardust reference, the whole bad guy, that was actually a Stephen Amell's kind of friend that is a pro wrestler that he fought at SummerSlam. And the drug was Stardust, which was the guy's wrestling name. And he probably was like, hey, you want to be an Arrow? Sure, let's go film an episode. It's kind of nice to see that. And you also got to say you have failed the city to him, which I'm sure was something he was like, you have to say this to me. Oliver killing the guy, which they lingered on that well enough that I feel like you could definitely tell that was a turning point. I feel like from now on with Oliver and Brafa, it's gonna get dark, because this is gonna be all like how Oliver became dark, because until this point really the only killing he's done has been for a reason. These are people that he didn't know, he's just killing. And which is kind of like that dark side, which I feel like is going to be really interesting. And also with that dark side, I feel like it's going to come back to bite them. Because like I feel like Brafa, I love that simultaneously of being in jail while dealing with the jail, obviously in this time. It's a good kind of roundabout way of tying in the past to the present. And it's really, really cool how they're doing it this season. Since this is probably going to be the last year with the past jumps. Unless they decide to jump next year, like 5 years in the future again. Which is something I'm thinking they might be doing. Lila is was freaking awesome in this episode. Like, I loved her. She was rocking. She was gonna save her husband no matter what. And I love that part at the end when they're talking about, like, for better or for worse. Like, I'm gonna break into jail for you. You want if you're gonna be dealing with these things, you're gonna want a person like that that's gonna be like, sure, I'll go to the end of the world. That switching scenes, I don't typically like it when they're doing the parallel things. I hate it when they decide to do two different point of views. But I feel like it worked in this episode, and it worked better than some because they kept it on the scenes long enough that you got a sense of what was going on. It wasn't just like snippets. It was like a good period of time. Good few minutes on each one, so it progressed the story pretty fast. But it was kind of hard to understand exactly what was going on. I loved both the directing on this one with the long corridor shots. Those were really cool seeing down the hall. Because those are really cool images. I'm also wondering if there's something up with Thea, because she's been acting weird, and I know she kind of wants to be out, but at the same time, she's like acting weird. So I'm wondering, a lot of theories. We didn't get to see the new Prometheus in this episode. A lot of theories are going out about Prometheus. If it's Tommy Merlin, I don't know, but is it Thea? I know she won't have the proper build, but you can build yourself up bigger. Makes sense, maybe, if it's Thea. That's why she didn't want to be on Team Arrow anymore. I don't know. Oh, the other thing I was going to talk about was they had a mention of Roy this episode again. So that's nice to see that he's still, like, in their minds. They still have contact with them, hopefully. And he might come back. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I'm going to sign out now, and I've got about 30 minutes, and then Supernatural is going to start, so I'm going to watch that episode live. If you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe for me. Have any suggestions for me, just leave them in the comments below. And, yeah, so I'm going to hopefully make a reaction to Supernatural, be a second reaction, because I want to watch it live, because I'm too impatient to wait an hour to watch it. But, yeah. So just go ahead and subscribe for me.